Hello guys, so today I just wanted to pop out the camera and come here and talk to you guys like on a very heart-to-heart basis about applications and application stress. I know that during this time a lot of students and graduates are applying for jobs, applying for internships, spring insights, even though spring insights might have been a while ago. Anyway, a lot of people are currently going through the frenzy of trying to secure an offer, and I know that this period coming close to the summer is a period where everyone starts to panic a little bit, especially if they haven't found something that they like or found something at all. And I know that when I was going through that, I would have really appreciated a video like this for me to just like listen to and understand that the process is normal. So yeah, today I popped out the camera and thought I'll just have a very, informal chat with you guys about what it's like to apply and go through the stress and how I overcame it and what things I learned from applications. There is no real structure to this video. I'm just gonna ramble a little bit because I just wanted to talk about this. So if you guys are watching this video, then feel free to just grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a beverage, get in front of the computer or your laptop or your phone, whatever you're doing, and let's just talk. Or if you're getting ready or something, or if you're doing some work in the background, feel free to just pop this video on and listen in. I feel like it's kind of like a podcast, let's say, but video format. Before I start unleashing personal stuff and talking about details of my application seasons and stuff like that, I want to quickly give a shout out to BetterHelp. BetterHelp, if you guys do not know already, is an online therapy counseling platform where you're able to get therapy from the comfort of your own house. The reason why I'm partnering with BetterHelp is because I personally feel like during the times where I was going through a career slump or an application slump, it would have been really great to just talk to a professional and have someone tell me how to manage my emotions, because I know it gets so toxic in my head where I think like I'm not good enough, or I start comparing myself to other people who already have offers from X company and X company, and you can really start working yourself up in your mind. I feel like we should really start to destigmatize getting professional help. And I'm not saying that you only need to get professional help when you have a severe disorder or severe issue that you need to really work through, like something traumatic. No, sometimes it's just like, oh, I'm sad because I got rejected from a job I want. Let me go talk to someone about it. Let me talk to a professional about it so that they can tell me how I can best manage these emotions. Had I had someone like a professional tell me, okay, this is fine, etc, etc, do this, I would have given myself a discount on the emotional tax that I was paying at the time. So I recommend you guys to look into therapy, look into online therapy and platforms like BetterHelp to help you guide you through the process if you feel like you need some emotional support. And BetterHelp really makes their aid very accessible. They do have financial aid for those who need it as well, and it's all online. I've been personally using that platform as well myself, and I found it incredibly useful and convenient to just slot in sessions with my therapist, like in between work or at night, and it's all at home, so I don't have to go out, so it's easier in that way and more convenient. So if you guys are interested, I will leave a link down below. Just complete disclosure, it is an affiliate link, so just letting you guys know that, but feel free to use it. Feel free to just go to BetterHelp and check out what the resources are for you, and yeah, I would highly recommend it. I remember in first year I didn't care too much about what I got, what I didn't get, because at the end of the day it's only first year. It's really not that urgent at that point. And I managed to secure a marketing internship, which to me was fine, and I was happy with that. I did not know what I wanted to do at the time, so any experience to me was fine. And I ended up working at the startup where I actually learned a lot, and that experience in that startup really allowed me to then secure another form of internship for my second year and third year. So for me, I went for like a untraditional route because I didn't do summer internships. I was doing a off-cycle ad hoc internship alongside my degree, which was a really bespoke situation, not something that most students would go through. But because I had that, I did have a sense of okay, I'm getting experience, I have something to put on my CV. That's that. Between second year and third year, I started to apply for some jobs in consulting just to see what it's like, and I just kept on getting rejections after rejections after rejections. Like my CV wouldn't even go through to the first stage. So I was thinking, like this is very upsetting, but I know that I kind of want to explore consulting. So I applied for a master's, which I knew would allow me to help me at least get into that kind of industry. Once I got into my master's and I went to London Business School, that's when I got entrenched in this whole career consulting IBD mentality. I had to apply to jobs now because I quit the job at HR. I had to find something that to me was competitive and, you know, let's not lie about it, something that was prestigious as well. I had to try to really fight my spot for that kind of industry. That's when this whole application stress, application anxiety started coming in. And if you guys are going through that right now and are applying to jobs and not getting anything back, I can relate, because when I was doing my master's, applying to consulting companies, it was brutal. It was so brutal, and it was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done in terms of like my academics or my professional life. I think for me, what was really hard during application season and, you know, getting rejections after rejections and feeling so anxious about my future was the fact that I could not escape it. Like, there is no way that, especially at a business school as well, where every other person is also applying to the same positions that you are, and you are completely like surrounded by this omnipresent like thing that is your career. I could not escape this fear and the stress of applications and applying for jobs. It wasn't like this smooth, easy, take your time and figure it out process for me. For me, it was like there's a deadline, you know? Once I graduate, that's that. Like, I can't risk graduating without having an offer, because for some reason the end all be all, it was like, if I graduate without an offer, I do not know what I'll do, because the world will explode. And it's obviously such a terrible mentality to have, right? You should not have that mentality. But in my head, I just did not know what would happen if I graduated without an offer. To me, it was like, do I go back to Portugal? Do I stay in London? Like, how am I gonna find a job? Do I have to wait for the next year to find jobs? I just did not know what was gonna happen. So I was like, okay, for the sake of simplicity and for the sake of just me knowing and being able to plan for the future, I need to get a job before I graduate. And that was crazy, because no one needs to get a job before they graduate. First of all, if you have already graduated and you haven't found a job and you haven't secured an offer, that's fine. I have so many friends who found offers and who found jobs months, maybe even years after they graduated, and they're doing completely fine. There really isn't a specific timeline that you need to adhere to. Now looking back, which is why I'm making this video, it's like, wow, I just wish someone would have sat me down and told me, it's fine, it's okay, you don't need to find a job right away. But in my head, I did have to find a job right away. So that's why I couldn't escape the stress. It's not, you know, sometimes you feel stressed and you're like, it's okay, it'll be fine. I'll just take a break and I'll be fine. I couldn't do that. Like, I literally every single day, I couldn't just relax and escape this very toxic feeling in my head, because time was ticking. I had to send out CVs, I had to send out cover letters, I had to go to networking events. Every day I was on the clock to find a job, and that was incredibly toxic. I know so many students have come up to me and talked to me like, oh my god, I haven't found a job yet, what do I do? And I'm just like, calm down, it will be fine. It honestly will be fine. Going back to application season, I remember one of the hardest moments for me was when I was applying to this company, this consulting company. It's actually quite funny because it's a competitor now to the company that I work for, but I was applying to them, and then I got through to the first case round after like multiple series of assessments before that. So I got my CV through, I passed the numerical assessments, the verbal assessments, and the critical reasoning assessments, and then I got through to like maybe the video interview or something like that, I don't remember. But then I finally got into the first case round. So yeah, because of that, obviously I was like on cloud 9 thinking that I would get this offer, and then I completely crashed the case interview. I failed, and then I remember when I got that rejection email from this company, I was so devastated I couldn't go to class. And that's really like, I don't usually get so sad or so worked up about things. I'm the kind of person that if I get sad, it's fine. Like, I move on. I'm not gonna roll over and die. I'm just gonna continue with my life. It's fine. But this rejection really hit me to the point where I wanted to just stay home for a day and feel sorry for myself. And that's exactly what I did. I just remember thinking like, oh my god, like why are applications so hard? I just want to find a job. I know I'm good enough to get in. I know I'm good enough to get in. I messed up this interview, and now this whole door is closed. Now if I want to apply to this company, I have to wait a whole year again. I just remember thinking in my head, this is so unfair. I feel so sad. And then also thoughts of like, oh my god, I'm not good enough started to roll in as well. And if you're thinking like I did, I just want to tell you that it gets better, honestly. Now looking back, I'm like, oh my god, girl, you were so dramatic. It was fine. Sometimes you think life isn't fair. Had I been given extra 2 minutes, had I done this, had I done that, had I had a different interviewer, etc., it would have been a different outcome. Yes, maybe it would have been a different outcome. However, life isn't fair. Like, whoever told you life was fair? Life is not fair. Sometimes things happen out of sheer luck, out of sheer coincidence, out of sheer timing, and sometimes those things do not align for us, and that's okay, because there will be other times where those things align for us. And I have also always been a big advocate for what is meant to be will be. I just really like the idea of living with no regrets, and if something hasn't worked out or if you got rejected from something, then it means that there's something else out there for you. And I truly believe those words, and I say this with all my heart all the time when I talk about university, talk about my rejections from university and my rejections from my job. Everything aligned perfectly the way it was supposed to align, and at the time where I got those rejections, I felt like my whole world crumbled. But you know, I'm back up and I'm doing well. I'm doing incredibly well. I'm very happy. And I want you guys to repeat to yourself that rejection is redirection. And I need to get that. I'm not actually gonna get that tattooed because it will look ugly, but rejection is redirection. Like, I completely stand by those words. I have multiple occasions where that's been the case for me when I got rejected from my first choice of university, and actually I got rejected from my first 4 choices of universities. Had to end up going to the 5th one that I really did not want to go to. I ended up meeting the most amazing people, my best friends for life, people who I can't imagine living without now. I ended up having an amazing uni experience, which had I gone to my first choice, I am quite confident I would not have the same experience. And I just look back to my university memories so fondly, because those are truly like the happiest moments of my life. And I think like, damn, had I not been rejected from all these other universities, I would have never had the chance to experience that. And with my job as well, I got rejected from this company, right, that I just told you guys about. And then like 2 months later, I got accepted to another company, which ended up being the offer that I took, and that's where I started my career. And I'm very glad that I started my career there, because it's taken me to where I am now. Yeah, a few months before graduation, I got the phone call like, okay, you got the offer, and I was ecstatic. I was so happy, and I remember thinking like, oh damn, everything worked out. Also, if you're feeling extremely down from applications, especially when you're comparing yourself to people, you're compared to your friends, your XYZ who already has offers at Goldman Sachs or whatever it is, when you're starting to compare yourself, that's when it gets extremely toxic, and that's when you kind of have to rewire your brain to be a bit more kind to yourself. This was a bit of a rambly video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just really wanted to pop on the camera and talk to you guys about application stress, because we've all been there. You guys are probably still going through it, and it's such a huge topic that I just don't see many people talking about, really, because it's all about how'd you get a job, how'd you get XYZ, and it's never about, oh, are you okay, how are you feeling about applications, because, you know, the emotional part is just as important as the actual practical part. I think everything kind of needs to be in sync for things to align. You should never be comparing yourselves to other people who have different journeys to you, different backgrounds, different lives. You know, it's just never going to be the same. So you're living your own life, do your own thing at your own time, and it'll be fine. There's no point in trying to like push yourself to do this thing that stresses you out, and then you crumbling under the stress and anxiety of what it is to apply to jobs. If you guys kind of like this kind of video, let me know, and I'll try to make a couple more other rambly videos. But if not, just also let me know. I want to reassure you guys that it'll be okay, it'll be fine, you will be fine, things will work out. I was once stressed and panicked and thinking, okay, I'm gonna give up on consulting, I can't get in, I'm a loser, I'm just not good enough, and look at me now. You know, I've been a consultant for almost 2 years, working in strategy, which is my dream function, and very, very happy. Obviously I could do better, and we can all do better, but I'm on my own journey, and I just know that looking back at those steps and at those times where I felt really miserable, that I would have liked someone to tell me these things. So yeah, you are doing just fine. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.